Um, Social media has changed the way business relate to their customers. A couple of years ago, I was watching a show. Don't ask me the name, but it was a show on TV, and there was this business. They were selling expensive clothes, and this gentleman goes and wants to buy some gloves. The lady tells him, okay, I think these are the ones that you need. And he said, actually, no, can I try others? And said, no, but this is what we have. No, I want to try others. So he made her open a bunch of boxes, opened all the boxes, and try them all, and say, okay, these are the ones that I want. This gentleman, I'm trying to remember the name, but he is the one who started the business as we know now, the Bay, Sears. He started in England, this big commercial, where people go and they try out things. The lady that helped him with the gloves was fired because she opened all the boxes to show the customer the options. So long ago, the stores would tell you, this is what we've got, that's it. You didn't have a choice. Things started to change gradually throughout the years, but with social media, things exploded. Because suddenly, customers were voicing their opinion about the products that they were buying. You know, from time to time, you hear these scandals about somebody, a worker doing the inimitable with the food that they are preparing behind the scenes for the restaurant. And it comes out to the media, and everybody's eyes are on the CEO and the marketing officer as well to see how are they going to react, what the PR person is going to say about what happened. When we all got the iPhone and we had the finger on the phone, and that simple finger there made it not work, and Steve Jobs said, well, just don't hold it that way. That was horrible PR. It was a big backlash. They had to change the program. What they did is they offered for free a case that would help people to hold the cell phone normally and make like a phone call. But on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, people were just going crazy. The other day, I had a very interesting conversation with a FIDO customer representative. I asked her a question. I said like 1,000 questions. It was all by chat. And at the end, she asked me, is there anything else I can help you with? And then I answered, well, I have pain in my back, but I don't know if you can do anything about it. You know what she said? Wait, I don't remember. Oh, yes, I had it in my mind all the time. She said, well, I'm sorry, but LOL, laughing out loud, which I doubt she was laughing out loud, but she said LOL, and she said, you know, I cannot do anything about that, but I can hurt with you. I was like, oh, you know, a customer service representative is hurting with me. What did I do? I took a snapshot of that conversation, and I went to Facebook, to fido.ca, to the Facebook page, and I put that there. I said, I love FIDO customer service. Within minutes, somebody from FIDO contacted me, thanking me for the positive feedback. That is good. That is good. They know now how to relate to the customers, most of them. Coca-Cola. Before you say anything about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, not too long ago, a few months ago, I think it was a year ago, I think it was for the beginning of the school year, for the college year. They had on this campus, they started on this campus, now it's everywhere, you can find it. They put this, how do you call these boxes where people go and buy a Coca-Cola or a vending machine? I need that. These vending machines with Coca-Cola. You go and you get it. It was for free. But you take it in, it says, share with Dave. What? Next person goes, buys a Coca-Cola bottle, it says, share with John. There were hundreds of them, and they had to share it with somebody. There were hidden cameras everywhere, and they were picking the reactions of people. That was the first day of school, the first day when everybody, all the freshmen come, and it's like whoa. Soon enough, people were asking other people their names. What's your name? Is there a Dave here? Is there a Dave? Is there a John here? And they started sharing. And now, still now, I was seeing in my timeline on Facebook pictures of friends saying, I found my name. Coca-Cola got it. Making people happy. Enjoy it. McDonald's. You can say whatever you want about McDonald's, but the logo is loving it. And they put skinny people on the commercials, of course, with big smiles. They don't show the medical bills and the funeral homes and all those things, but they show people laughing and with it says loving it. Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi-Cola is always attacking Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola just enjoy drinking it. They got it. A few years ago, I read this book. It's a business, nothing to do about religion. It's a business book. And the title impressed me. It says, Love is the Killer App. The byline is How to Win Business and Influence Friends. This is by Tim Sanders. Tim Sanders, at this moment, he was the Chief Solutions Officer at Yahoo. Once when Yahoo was something. But it's a big man. I mean, like a very high. This book, I read it a few times, and this last week again. It has 3 premises. It talks about knowledge, network, and compassion. He says, if you want to win business, if you want to be successful at business, and you want to win friends and have influence, you have to have knowledge first. You need to know your stuff. You need to know your business. Then you have a network. You need network. Without a network, you cannot do anything with that knowledge. You have to share that knowledge. And then, compassion. If you do that with compassion, that's a perfect business. And when I read that, I thought, there is somewhere I have read that before. What did I read before? And then I went to 1 Peter 3:15, and guess what it says? It says, always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect. Be always ready to give an answer. Know your answer. Know your things. Know it. Other people will ask you, the network. But do it with gentleness and respect. Compassion. Maybe that's why this is a New York Times bestseller. He got it right. He got it from the Bible. But I kept reading this totally business book. And I found this other quote. I'm going to quote from the book. It says, love is the selfless promotion of the growth of the other. When you are able to help others grow to become the best people they can be, you are being loving and you too grow. Oh, that is so nice coming from a businessman. And I read that quote, I underlined it, and I thought, this rings a bell. So I went to the Bible. And what I found is in 1 Thessalonians 5:11, it says, therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. So that's why it's a bestseller. That's why he's so successful. What he's saying is actually in the Bible. So I kept reading. I found another quote. Let me see. Let me read it, okay? Without a network, knowledge is nearly useless. Knowledge is your power source or your battery, but relationship is your nerve center, your processor. You get value from your knowledge, but it becomes real when you share it with your network. Makes total sense. I mean, I would buy more books of this just to read it. Everywhere I go, I want to have this book in front of me. But then I thought, no, I have another book in front of me all the time. By my night table, in my car, everywhere. I'm going to see what this book says about this same concept that sounds very good. So I went to the Bible and found on Ecclesiastes 4:9-12, it says, two are better than one because they have a good reward for the toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. Sorry, my English when I read it is horrible, but you get the idea, right? Okay. Amazing. So I keep reading this book, and again, I found something interesting. It says, no matter how technical our workstations may be, because we are all human, the network is at its best when compassion underlines our motivation. So you may know a lot of things, but if you don't have compassion, it doesn't do anything. Compassion is important. And again, this way better book that I have at my night table and in my office and everywhere says something about it as well. It tells us the story of Jesus in Matthew 14:14, it says, when he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion on them and healed their sick. You see, Jesus knew so many things. He had so many things to tell them, so much truth to share, so many things to say. But when he got there and he saw them, he kept his mouth shut and just healed them. Just healed their sickness because he had compassion. I keep reading. I'm telling you, this is a very good book. Love is the killer app. It says, please hold you. Sorry. People hold you in the highest esteem when they realize you have no expectations that you will receive anything in return for what you are willing to give. You know, we are not done. We know when somebody is coming and trying to get business. They try to be very nice to you, and they call you on the phone and say, how are you doing? But you saw that is 1-800 on the caller ID, or 155 or 156, anything 800. And they ask you, how are you doing, sir? And they know your name. You know they want something in return. They can be very nice, but you know. But if somebody is nice to you without expecting anything in return, you will remember that person. Okay, Proverbs 10:9. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but he who makes his ways crooked will be found out. If you are not honest in the way that you treat other people, they will find out. It works for business. It works in the Bible as well. All right. 3 more quotes. Another one, it says, the best part of sharing knowledge is that the more you apply it, the more you get in return. There is something about talking about what you love. You come out of that discussion happy. You know, it is, if you love cars and you find somebody that you can talk about cars, at the end of the conversation, you are happy. It's just, it's amazing. When you are low in spirit, when you are depressed, and you find somebody else that is depressed too, and you go and you share the Bible with them, and you share Jesus, at the end of the conversation, you feel better as well. Luke 6:38 says, give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over, will be put into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. Thank you. Sorry, buddy. They are from the dollar store, you can tell. Okay, everybody here. Happy? Don't move. All right. I kept reading the book, and it said, recognize someone else as an individual. Oh, when the insurance company calls you and they say, hello, number 1324, how are you doing? Excuse me, who's talking? Oh, this is agent 255. Doesn't work, right? Even if you know that they have the name written there in the paper on the screen, when somebody says your name, it makes a difference. When you're treated as an individual. But Matthew 25:40 says, Jesus says, the king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. When there is no love, there's, oh no, this is this quote. So yeah, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Everybody as an individual is a child of Jesus. Every single person. When we go out there, when we look through the window and we see our neighbors, they are not neighbors. They are not people from this country, from this one. They are individuals. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a story that can change your heart. And Jesus talks about that. Then, this book, Tim Sanders, keeps talking. And he says, when there is no love, there should be no expression of love. Never fake it. This is a businessman. I'm telling you, don't fake it. Don't think of the bottom line. Think really of the person that you have. How can you make his life better? And if you believe in your product, you don't have to do anything else, and just share how he will do better and love that person, but don't fake it. Like I remember trying to sell some books many years ago. Not that many years ago, I was only 17. And I hadn't even read the books. Did I sell any book? No, not a single one. If everybody is sharing love nowadays, if all this business and big corporations are sharing the love, what's the difference between Coca-Cola and the Henderson Highway Seventh-day Adventist Church? The strings. You know, the businesses, the mission is go and make money. Our mission is go and share the good news. Coca-Cola wants your money. We want your salvation. Coca-Cola will want to say, look at it. It doesn't hurt. But just in case, don't touch it, okay? Coca-Cola wants, wait. They tried to hold it carefully. I didn't practice, can you tell? Hold it. Okay, I'm not going to turn the camera off. Okay. Okay, you can let it go now. Okay, whoops. Oh, brother. Anyway. Coca-Cola is offering something very nice. It's offering love, really love. They want you to like this. But there is, sorry, sir. Honestly, they want you back. They want the money back. Still, it's loving. But we are full of love. We have so much, and we need to give it away. And I want people to have it. And I want people to be happy. You know, I enjoy playing. You're supposed to say yes, otherwise it doesn't work. Thank you, buddy. You have love. You share it. You have Jesus. Here, you share it. I'm not going to ask you to come back with me. You're 17. I just give it away. I want people to enjoy. I want people to love. I want people to find what it is like being with Jesus. Because my life changed. And you know, all these last weeks we've been talking about that. We have love. I see 2 hands there. We have love. What are we meant to be? What are we meant to do with this? We give it away. You know, our mission is not to bring people to church. I know I'm saying that just before the evangelistic meetings. But our mission is not to bring people to church. Our mission is share Jesus with everybody. Because otherwise, they'll know that there are strings attached. Forget about it. It's not the bottom line that we are looking for to see how many members we get. It's not us as pastors to report to the conference how many baptisms we got. We are not even going to win souls. We are going to tell them about Jesus. We don't keep it for us. We give them to Jesus. We see a person, we see a story. We see a person, we see a future, we see eternal life. And then we see ourselves, and we see what God has done for us. what can I do but sharing Jesus' love? You know, we were writing down about volunteering, about this meetings that we are going to have with Brett. We were talking about that now. But you know what? I want you to do that, knowing that every hour, that every minute, that every thought we have in our mind about this is about sharing Jesus. It's not about getting the job done. It's about loving Jesus and sharing Jesus with other people. No strings attached. No strings attached. But what happens at the end is that those who have the love of Jesus, there is something about sharing love of Jesus that is contagious. And we get together because we love Jesus. But the end point is not meet here. The end point is to keep giving away the love of Jesus. That's the end point, to give. Love your neighbor. We try. And by the way, funny thing is that Tim Sanders, he's actually a committed Christian.